The Starr and D'Amico Show is brought to you by cheapesttshirts.ca. If you're looking for quality gear without overpaying, shop cheapesttshirts.ca. Huge selection for men, women, and kids. Tees, hoodies, headwear, bags, and more. Proud Montreal business. Order today, ship today, delivery tomorrow. That's cheapesttshirts.ca. Local, fast, and affordable. Brought to you by instacustoms.com. Do you need custom gear from a local Montreal business? Instacustoms.com has you covered. Custom shirts, hoodies, hats, and more made your way. Fast turnaround, great quality, and proudly Montreal-based. Check out instacustoms.com. Brought to you by Cabletel. For trusted alarm systems in Quebec and Eastern Ontario, choose Cabletel. Over 20 years of expert installation and top-tier protection for homes and businesses. Check out Cabletel.com. Email them info@Cabletel.com. It's Cabletel. Peace of mind you can count on. Brought to you by Little Bear. Give your pet the best with Little Bear Pet Supply. It's a proudly family-owned business here in Montreal for over 30 years. Chuck, Evie, and their all-star staff have you taken care of with all the top brands at the best prices, and they really care for your pets. Shop online at littlebearonline.com or visit them on St. Catherine across from Westmount Square. It's Little Bear Pet Supply. Brought to you by McLean's Pub. Head over to McLean's Pub, 1210 Peel Street in the heart of downtown Montreal. Great food, cold drinks, and big games on all the screens. McLean's Pub, good times and great company.
Welcome to McLean's Pub, 1210 Peel Street for the live presentation of the Starr and D'Amico Show. Marco, we have made it. We have arrived, as the kids like to say. We got here, baby. Go Habs, go, as the chat is on fire with over 130 people joining us for the introduction with the bar and the umpteen selection. I can't count that high. I don't know how many beers are on tap here at the outstanding service. Marco, what's good, brother?
Well, for one, we don't hear you in double. Two, I got a 6 setup behind me. And 3, this is probably one of the best days of hockey of the year.
Yeah.
NCAA playoffs, a couple of games at 5 p.m., a lot of playoff, implications going on. Everybody, can you hear me? Can you say that you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Is the technical situation okay?
It sounds as good as it's maybe ever been.
I want to hear the fans.
Fingers
I hear
crossed.
you, Shaun.
I hear you loud and clear, brother. Nice to see some people from the Starr and D'Amico community is here. Let's rock and roll. As always, our splendid social media producer, Ailey, is here. And what did she say? She's wearing a sweater where she's what? She's 2-0 in the sweater. So the jinx, the superstition is on as the drive for 5, Marco, is on in a big way. We were live this morning in the aftermath of the Canadiens' win in Nashville. Light work, as we say. And going to be a different story, though, right? Going into Carolina with a little bit of revenga for the Carolina Hurricanes, considering the last time these two teams met, it was all Montreal in terms of answering for the slow start when they won in front of the Bell Center faithful in a 5-2 final. What's the anticipated pushback tonight?
Shaun, I'm just so proud that the technical aspects are all taken care of. Everyone's really happy.
That's
all I care.
Honestly, Marco, as a guy that's been in radio for forever, I'm going to be dramatic. I wanted to put my head through drywall with how bad it was and the echoing.
You still have an opportunity.
Look. We got a mixer. We're spending money, Marco. The show is spending money just so that we could do this in a much more professional way.
You know who else is spending
money? And there's no
money?
casting couch. I don't have a casting couch today.
I mean, thank Jesus. Ain't nobody needs to see the Shaun Starr pose ever again.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk hockey.
We are here to talk hockey. We want to talk about Michael Hage. Marco is working the phones. So if you see him kind of peer away from the screen, he's working the phone.
Really
Michael
sorry.
Hage in Michigan. They hit the ice when at what time? They're in an hour? 5:30?
Hour and a half.
5:30 Eastern time, right? 4:30 Central. So as we know, for the uninformed, Michael Hage didn't play in Michigan's debut in the NCAA tournament out with a lower body injury, as we mentioned on the live show today. The specific nature of it to be determined, inconclusive. So we'll see what's happening today. Some of the chat, I guess, saying that Hage isn't playing today, but we're waiting for official confirmation on that. But Marco, you're damn right. We're here to talk hockey. We're here to talk about the drive for 5, the Canadiens and the Hurricanes coming up. Nothing on the lineup in terms of listen, Jakub Dobeš is going to play, but we saw Josh Anderson didn't finish the game yesterday.
Yeah, Josh Anderson didn't finish the game because he was sick.
Yeah.
So we'll see exactly what happens. Sorry about that, guys. I had the chicken tenders and the hot sauce is getting to me.
Let's go.
Which is great.
Yeah.
In terms of the lineup, that's Thursday's lineup. I'm trying to find Michigan's lineup for today, but I didn't see him on it either.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten confirmation either. I've sent out feelers to everybody. So if we get official confirmation, we'll keep you posted. There are other games though going on in the NCAA that impact the Montreal Canadiens, at least the prospects. We have Denver currently playing right now. Sam Harris actually opened up the scoring of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. So Denver currently winning 4-1 over Western Michigan. And so if Denver wins this game, Sam Harris and Keita Miller, who's the backup tonight, will be going to the Frozen Four in Vegas.
Okay.
Now, what we need to figure out is who's joining them.
And as we spoke about this morning, we talked about Porter Martone. Looks like, speaking of collegiate players, looks like that case is now solved.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say anything, but there was a really good chance he signed today.
Yeah.
And, Porter Martone is an absolute gem. Absolute gem. I think he's going to be a premier power forward in the NHL for a long time. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got great skill. Just an individual I really enjoy. So absolute confirmation. Michael Hage not playing today.
He's listed as
against University of Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, they have him as the 13th forward, basically.
Yeah.
So not part of the four trios up front.
Yeah, that's indicative. He's dressed if they can play. If they need him, they'll play him. That's basically what it is.
Man, oh man. I mean, talk about a little bit of a Debbie Downer, no? I mean, with the hype and the anticipation of another big tournament for the Canadiens prospect and what blocks a shot, right? And now it's back-to-back games where he's not going to play.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
They won the Big Ten championships, right? That's also what matters to that team.
Right.
So yes, they were able to pull that out, and he shows that he's willing to sacrifice the body. Obviously, it kind of sucks given the situation. But what I'm going to say is that's maybe an element of Michael Hage's game that maybe people didn't know about, right? That ability to play that two-way game. And I'm glad he's dressed, but let's all call it what it is. If Michael Hage plays more than 10 minutes in this game, I'll be surprised.
So, yeah, I mean, he's dressed. He's the 13th forward, as we pointed out, but again, not part of the four forward combinations. We're here at McLean's Pub, 1210 Peel Street. Come by and say hi. We're here until 5. And, of course, the watch party for the Canadiens. Drive for 5, looking for 5 wins in a row. They take on the Carolina Hurricanes. A week ago, they were 5-2 winners. Montreal looking to run the table. 7-5 winners in the regular season opener, and then followed that up. What makes, I mean, dare I say, are the Canadiens a bad matchup for the Hurricanes?
Don't put that bad juju.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes play a heavy forecheck. They're relentless. But I just feel like they had so much of an exodus on their defense.
Yeah.
Losing Burns, losing Orlov, that's a lot of experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like Walker has been great for them. Slavin is always legit, and Nikishin's going to be an absolute beauty.
Yeah.
But I still don't feel like as a cohesive unit, they can handle the same forecheck that their forwards execute. And that's what Montreal does really well.
We saw the Canadiens take on Nashville and have an outstanding performance, right? I mean, it was a quiet night for Jacob Fowler. The lucky goal that busted the shutout, but more importantly, the depth of the Montreal Canadiens. Yes, Cole Caulfield and the road to 50 is on in a big way. Number 13 scored his 45th of the season. But I think beyond that, I mean, those are proven guys. Slavkovsky, Suzuki, those are proven guys. There's no question marks, right? It's fair to say sitting here that prior to the Nashville game, there was some question marks as the Canadiens pushed for a playoff about how the second line was going to look, Marco. I mean, have they done enough to answer some of those questions, considering the line together got a hat trick last night, Kapanen, Newhook, and Demidov?
Matt, look, I think the Canadiens, if they're going to have any success down the stretch, they're going to need secondary scoring, and that really starts with your second line.
Yeah.
I know, hot take. But one of the things I really did appreciate, and I think it's becoming more and more evident. We talked about it a little bit more this morning. I'm going to go in depth now.
Yeah.
When it comes time to watching Ivan Demidov play without the puck, I am so thoroughly impressed at the effort, at the way that he's processing the game, and the way that he goes about attacking open ice even when he doesn't have the puck. And I think it's what's going to make him one of the most elite players in this league. I really do enjoy him.
I mean, prediction's such a sucker's game, right? But you see the, to your point about the drive, right? How young he is, how well he's doing. Tied for the NHL rookie lead in scoring. Matthew Schaefer, 22 goals, tied with Beckett Seneca, tied with Ivan Demidov. How Demidov has incorporated himself. I mean, there was a point in the win over Nashville on Saturday where he goes back to the bench after missing a chance. Him and Slavkovsky, they're having a good time. The guy's laughing, and one of those moments where I look at it and I'm like, you know what? He's shown nothing about the pressure of either playing in Montreal. And that whole narrative I'm talking about, right? About, the pressure playing in Montreal, you don't do well. They put for sale signs up on your front lawn, or they start to boo you. I mean, it seems like he has this ability, right, to kind of let that roll off his back, whether he's well insulated or just he's so confident in his own game that what he's done now, I just can't help but project forward and think, what is this kid going to look like? It's not a pipe dream. It's not a rose-colored glasses look that I legitimately sit here, Marco, next to you here at McLean's Pub and firmly believe he's the next 100-point man for the Montreal Canadiens. Like, I see it. My hockey brain sees it.
Well, I think Nick Suzuki's probably the next 100-point man for the Montreal Canadiens.
We'll see. I mean, he's got the odds on. He's got the odds-on favorite. He's the odds on. Yeah. Come on.
He's got 10 games to get 12 points. I say he does it.
Yeah.
But no, I think when it comes to a guy like Demidov, eventually they're going to have to make a decision. Like, you're going to have to figure out what's going to happen, who's going to play on the top line, and who's going to be a bona fide second line Wow, the feedback just got to me. A bona fide second line center. And if that center is going to be able to play the necessary style to be able to complement an Ivan Demidov. That's why I like Michael Hage in that role, because he's as equal a sniper as he is a playmaker. It's just at Michigan, he's asked to be that playmaking type. He's not asked to be a shoot first kind of guy. Well, neither was Demidov in the KHL, right? He was a pass first kind of guy. And now we're seeing him shoot more and more, and that comes with confidence. So I think once that really happens, Shaun, sky's the limit.
I agree. I mean, you see, the ability to play with contact, the ability to go through contact, to spin his way out of contact, use those magical hands of his in order to make things happen and keep pressure alive in the offensive zone, right? I mean, it's such a unique skill, and it's only going to get further developed in a really massive way, right? And some people in the comments here, like AK, talking about the shot. I mean, the shot's electrifying. I mean, he let a snapper go in Nashville. It just was wide of the net. Like, he had Saros beat. I was convinced of it. But while we continue on the theme of predictions, the sucker's gambit, Michael Hage, in a world where he comes over, right, and the Canadiens bring him over, he doesn't go to Laval, as we talked about on a video on this on the channel this week, right? You're not taking I mean, Oliver Kapanen's not going anywhere. The line of Newhook, Kapanen, and Demidov, Marco, is not being broken up with less than 10 games to go, or if Hage comes, there's going to be 1 or 2 games left.
Sorry, I got a really good text message from someone from Michigan.
And?
So basically the idea is that Michael Hage, they're going to see how it goes. If he feels better as the game goes on, they may insert him. If they need a goal, they may, put him in the rotation. So it's a fluid situation.
Okay, so he's going to be opening the door for his teammates until he feels like maybe he'll be pressed into duty, in other words.
Remember when Caulfield was sick? Yeah. And he was by the door, but then there was a power play and he was out?
Yep.
That's what I'm being told.
So that's good news. Listen, it's glass half full as far as Michael Hage. Like, he's dressed 13th forward.
Yeah, but Shaun, my biggest thing, I would hate to see him aggravate whatever injury he has. Because if
it's not a frozen
Michigan
game,
loses,
right? Yeah.
But if Michigan loses and he aggravates his injury and he can't jump to the pro level, that kind of sucks for him, right?
Well,
but
it
on the flip
delays the
side-
timeline, but it's still better than at least he's dressed.
Yeah, no, look,
You know?
at least it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term injury.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's still unfortunate. This is, Bentley is one thing, but University of Minnesota Duluth is another. The Plant brothers are legitimate, and it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a big, heavy lift on one TJ Hughes, number one center right now for the Michigan Wolverines. But we'll see what happens. I think, let's see what Brendan Naruto works in mysterious ways. I'm going to say it that way. So we'll see how much ice time he finishes with and how good he looks, and if he's feeling it during game time. But other than that, let's not rush the process.
I agree. I think to
answer the questions in the chat, yes, if Michigan loses today, it is the end of Michael Hage's season.
It's over. And then, I mean, as well as I do, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a percentage of fans that are like, come on, it's okay, Michigan, you can lose this game. Everyone wants to see Michael Hage here, right? Like, that percentage exists.
A percentage, you say?
You want to put a number on it? Go ahead. I know the percentage exists.
99.9999.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see him too, but I'd love to see him. College is a special time, man. And you hear it from so many different players over so many different sports about, they look back and the cliche was the best day of my life, kind of scenario. But to be there with the boys, to go through and to get to a Frozen Four, let alone win a natty, right? I mean, that's a special thing. I'd love to see him rewarded for a full season. And Michigan is the number one seed in this tournament, brother. Like, go the whole way, like close the deal. The Canadiens are good, man. They're good. Look what they've done all season, right? I mean, they're on 92 points, brother. They got 41 wins. Oliver Kapanen's got 22 goals. Demidov's got over 50 points. Slav might score 30. Caulfield may score 50. Suzuki may hit 100. Like, everything's kosher here, man. I'm not in a rush. I'll stay consistent like I was with you in the video. Like, I'm super patient with Michael Hage. So don't put me in the 99.9% bracket. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Finally, Shaun Starr decides to be conservative. Where was that at Morella's?
Well, it was nice and quiet. I'm so in love with the sound today. We sound good. The technical aspect, the vibe is strong here as it always is at McLean's. It's the real deal on Peel, 1210 Peel Street. You had the Blue Jays on the screen. The Jays swept their season opener with the Oakland A's. I believe it was a 3-game set anyway. And people getting ready for the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop in about 35 minutes or so as the Canadiens look for the regular season sweep. You excited about this game? You got a good feeling about this game? Like, I felt very good about the Habs going into Nashville. How are you feeling about this one?
I feel like this is the trap game.
Yeah.
Finishing in Nashville, they played at 7. So game ended at like 9:30, 9:45.
Yeah.
Got to Carolina probably to the hotel around like midnight. They didn't practice today. Meanwhile, Carolina's been at home.
Exactly.
They played at 5 p.m. yesterday.
A good job.
They're probably going to be pissed off, considering how the last 2 games went.
Correct.
And it looks like Freddie Anderson is playing tonight as well.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's,
he didn't have his best game last week.
No, he did not.
Or this
if
week,
there was ever a game that the Canadiens could get hoodwinked, it's this one. But something tells me they're going to come out swinging right away in the first period.
Yeah. I mean, Carolina's just a tough matchup. You talk about the pressure that they're able to put on in terms of the forecheck and everything else, right? And the Canadiens were obviously extremely guilty. One of maybe the sleepiest start we saw of any team put up against the Montreal Canadiens this week, but they managed to bounce back and totally redeem themselves in that 5-2 win. And you look back on that performance where the Canadiens beat them 5-2, right? I mean, it was a strong game across the board. And we're going to see Jakub Dobeš again. That was the 41 save effort from Dobeš. Another multi-point game from Ivan Demidov. Juraj Slafkovsky had another multi-point game, right? I mean, the core's the core. And watching Demidov again do his thing, it's been so fun to watch. And we talk about Kapanen and Demidov, right? And how important they're going to be tonight. This is where the young legs kind of, maybe you lean on them a little bit more, no?
Yeah, I'm sorry. All I could hear is Freebird.
Yeah, I can hear it too, but
I'm so can't keep concentration when Freebird is playing.
Well, you're going to have to because we have another 40 minutes left. So.
I know. Obviously the youth is going to have to come in pretty clutch, but I think it would be an oversimplification if I said that that's been the case basically the entire year. So, the Canadiens have been good in a back-to-back situation. This is a no-nonsense part of the season. Jakub Dobeš is playing good hockey. Now it's just a question of, are they playing 11-7? Or is one of Texier or Josh Anderson going to be available for this game? And I think that's really the question we need to ask, but I ain't asking Martin St. Louis, so we're about to find out in the next 15 minutes.
Well, it's just like almost 4:30. How come? Where's the lineup? Like we got things to do. We got priorities.
Here we go. We need old man yelling at the clouds.
We need takes. We need takes on the lineup. What are the Canadiens going to do? Is Alex Texier going to muscle up? Get over the lower body injury, or what's the better? What's the better?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Where is Hage? We can't bring a dog to the pub.
I just use my service dog. I'll just call him my service dog.
For real? Can you do that next time?
I might. He'd love it here.
Honestly, Shaun,
he'd love it here.
Or else I quit.
What's the better strategy though? Is like double shifting Suzuki or whatever forward's hot, or going the 11-7?
Well, wouldn't that be the same? You can do 11. You can do 11-7.
Yeah. Oh, they would anyway.
Double shift.
You're correct.
Yeah. So I think so. There is absolutely zero chance I'm going to ask Marty. Zero chance.
Text him.
But what I will say is free bird. Sorry, I'm done now, guys.
The playlist here is fire. I'll give him that. It's a great pub vibe.
I apologize for singing, everybody.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think you're going to have to pay attention to in this game is how the Canadiens are able to play in the second and third. Long change, second period after a back-to-back is a pain to play. And then how do you step up from that in the third period? That's really where we're going to be able to see the moxie of this team.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's more a question of like, hey, when it comes time to this game and you're trying to play fresh legs, do you also try to double shift Suzuki and Caulfield? Even if they play 12 healthy forwards and they decide, I don't know, halfway through the game, Josh, skip a shift.
Right?
Yep. I think it's also conscious internally that they want to try and be a little bit more proactive in helping these guys reach their milestones.
Weren't they doing it anyway when MSL wasn't happy because Alex Newhook didn't press Patrick Kane on the JT Compher goal, and it was kind of giving it to him on the bench, and Kapanen wasn't playing. Newhook was getting less than 10 minutes. Demidov got what did he get? 11 minutes because he got 2 on the power play. If not, it was like 9 minutes of even strength. He's been doing it anyway, so it's not unforeign territory, right?
No, it's not unforeign territory. And I would say one thing. Speaking of foreign territory, we're not at Morella's. I can't ask for scotch. The Lagavulin is at home.
Yeah.
Something I will most likely consume after I've woken up for the third time in the evening.
Yeah.
To feed my son.
Yeah, see, like Marco left the newborns at home. Like legit, a newborn is at home, and Marco's here at a bar. What is this? 1957. The mom's home with the newborn, and the dad's at the pub.
Y'all think that Ivan Demidov is going to be a franchise player? My wife is a franchise player.
Oh, well, no kidding. Nice to see a bunch of people, familiar faces, eh? Starting to roll by here.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a big game.
It's a huge game. Yeah, the vibe is strong, man. People are excited about this. People are excited about this team. And you know what else is interesting to me is that like
the truth on your screen. That's right.
Oh no, I'm not getting anybody in trouble. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I come with peace and love, Ringo Starr style. Peace and love. Don't you find most Hab fans now understand the word most Hab fans, like they're kind of realistic in terms of where this team is at and where they're going to be, 5 years from now, in that 3 to 5 year kind of window as everybody starts to mature. Like I just find everybody's kind of riding the wave, happy that the team is winning, that they're fun. Marco's vibing to the music. Why aren't you guys here? Instead of, you guys should be off YouTube.com. You should be here with us on Peel Street at the Real Deal at McLean's. I'm just, I'm proud of the majority of the fans. They're
The majority of the fans.
Well, listen, we are engaging with, people love Arbor Jacki. I don't want to dig on an Arbor Jacki.
Why?
But everyone has their opinion. I just find the majority of the opinions out there are very grounded, and I find that very unique for this market.
I mean, look, I think the Canadiens are going to try and change the identity of their defensive core in the offseason in a way where I feel like this conversation will no longer happen. And I think that's all I could say to that.
Well, you know what's going to happen? The expectations are going to mount in a big, big way. And that's where I think there's a little bit more pressure. If we're talking in the here and now, everything's great. People are vibing because the team's young and they're scoring and maybe they're punching above their weight class to a certain extent, right? But that line of thinking and that logic is only going to last for so long. And then the expectation, and then the pressure on MSL, the pressure on the coach, the pressure on the goaltenders, whether it's Jacob Fowler or Jakub Dobeš or the both of them, Demidov, Slavkovsky, and on we go.
Can I just say that San Diego is my favorite West Coast city?
Dude, I think, what is it? It's the best weather on average.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was in San Diego.
I love San Diego.
For those that don't remember, I went to the draft in LA. And I spent the week basically in SoCal with my wife, to treat her since I have no life and I'm here with you guys all the time.
And the baby was born. Yeah.
No, the baby was not born. And we're not even going to get into that.
Have another beer. We'll get into a lot of things.
But mathematically, my son was supposed to be born in April.
Yeah.
And I was in LA in July. So math doesn't work out. That being said, 4th of July, San Diego. It's a Petco Arena.
Yep.
Just glorious, sunny day.
Yep.
I love San Diego.
Seeing the Navy and then here, try the Bay. I've spent a lot of time myself, lucky enough to be all over that great state. I love California. California is one of those special places. Like I've been to SoCal, I've been to NoCal. I've been to spend a couple of months in San Francisco.
Is my favorite city.
San Francisco is unbelievable. I love San Diego. I love the weather. And it's one of those weird places like Montreal is always home forever. But when I'm in California, there's something about that place where I'm like, damn, I feel like this is where I'm meant to be. That's
all I got to say. Southern California, there's a reason why a lot of Italians went there at the very end of the 19th century.
Yeah.
It just feels like Italy. And it also makes sense that it's huge wine country. But I'm pretty sure people are here to hear us talk about hockey.
I know. I'm ready for game day. Ready for 5 in a row. Ready for a regular season sweep of the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop coming up in about 35 minutes with Jakub Dobeš. Watching this guy play, man, I mean, when you watch him play, you see sustainability, right? You don't see a guy who's stopping pucks with his back to the shooter. You see a guy who's more sound technically, more calm, more purposeful in his movements.
Oh, absolutely. I think that comes with maturity, but that comes with, getting those reps in, making sure you're able to be in confidence when you're playing in your position, and just having the respect to the coach as well. I feel like it's such a huge weight off their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And
no kidding.
Especially for a youngish team, I feel like this is going to be this next 3 weeks is going to be very telling. Very, very telling. And so far, so good. Oh, Shaun, are you reading?
No.
Are you going to be okay?
Why?
Because you're not saying anything.
Oh no, I thought you were going to continue there. Sorry.
No, man. We're gonna have to talk about what's going on. People want to know what the lineup is, and I don't want to get yelled at.
I know. I forgot. This sometimes this internet drives me a bit crazy. I'm not going to lie, but I'll just keep that to myself for now. But no, it's 4:30, brother, and I just refreshed the Canadiens page, and there's no lineup announcement unless you spotted something.
No, I'm not being given any information right now. Again, I am getting information from those that I know around Michigan.
Yeah.
Michael Hage, again, playing as a 13th forward.
Yeah.
Sam Harris of Denver and Quentin Miller of Denver, likely going to the Frozen Four.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that North Dakota is going to be there, right? And that's got some draft implications when Keaton Veerhoff. So there's going to be a lot. And I feel like today's Michigan game, having Michael Hage there. I don't know if anybody's ever watched Vikings.
Is it good?
It was good.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
It was. Yeah, the first couple seasons was great.
Yeah.
But when Bjorn, I'm obviously not going to say that Michael Hage is dying here, but having the wounded soldier amongst the team as a motivational source, I feel like Michael Hage is going to get that team going very early. And if he's going to get in this game, I think they're going to use him in opportune situations, like a power play, offensive zone situation.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. But I think the fact that he's in as a 13th forward is very symbolic, with the opportunity to be something more implicit.
92 points is where the Canadiens are at going into Carolina tonight.
Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
The Last Kingdom. There's another show.
Did you watch it?
That's not the bank robber family, is it?
No, dude. This is during like Anglican England.
Oh, no.
Oh, you have to watch it.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out. I'm finishing up, while we're talking about TV, I know it's a Canadian show, but I've been watching Paradise on Disney Plus. I'm waiting for the second. I have one more episode. The last episode of season 2 comes out, and then I'll move on. Last Kingdom. It's on the list. Yeah. And 92 points is where the Canadiens are at. 41 wins. We talked about, and I saw somebody put it up in the chat. We talked about it this morning. MoneyPuck.com's percentages to make the playoffs. How many points is it going to take in your mind to finish top 3 in the Atlantic? 105.
Top 3 in the Atlantic, probably 104.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Because Montreal and Boston are just like neck and neck. And then after that, Tampa is Tampa. Buffalo can coast at this point. Maybe their first 100-point season in like
wild,
13 years.
Yeah. I
mean, geez, some of our watchers weren't even legally able to drink.
Legally, yeah.
Yeah, legally. That's keyword. But I think when you look at the lineup now, Shaun's going to hate his life because one Arbor Jack guy.
There you go. Is
in.
He's in. Not for Struble. Not for Struble.
Well, I just got a text, so I've got to go and research. But looking likely. Do you think they go 11-7, Shaun?
I do.
Well,
and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, like, it's not the Jacob Fowler rule where I believe Fowler needs to play obviously at least once a week. But, I mean, Arbor Jackie's not a House League Ray Bork Arena player. You know what I mean? Like, he should be able to continue to play just out of the sheer factor of the what if, in my opinion. Just for the what if. For the what if somebody blocks a shot, it goes sideways, somebody gets hit into the boards, they go into the boards the wrong way. Like, just to keep your feet wet a little bit. So it kind of makes sense for me in that context.
No confirmation though that Arbor Jack guy is playing.
Right.
But we will see.
He's in for Josh Anderson. He's playing forward. Congratulations. All your wishes have come true.
For real?
No. Are you crazy? I think I'd run out of the bar.
I wanted to see you run with it.
Yeah, no.
But no.
I don't know. Where do you get your Canadiens lineup information from? Like through an email? Sometimes I get an email.
From boots on the ground.
Sometimes I get an email from the team, and if not, I usually go to their Twitter page.
Jakub Dobeš is confirmed to be the starter.
Yeah. We knew that.
Oh,
we knew that. We knew that.
Okay. Some of us knew it last week.
Goalie Savant over here. Yeah.
But you do have to figure right now. There hasn't been any mention of a call-up.
Yeah.
So it's either Josh Anderson is in or Arbor Jack guy is in. I think Arbor Jack guy is in.
Yeah. RDS saying that they're going to go 11-7.
Yep. Which I felt was going to be the play.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for them to open up that kind of worms and do a an emergency call-up, especially considering Laval played Friday and Saturday.
Exactly.
So I said that was going to be the least likely. Arbor getting in 11-7. You have a body, on the back end giving you options in case you need it. But expect them to double shift the heck out of Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield.
Let me ask you something. When we talk about Arbor Jack guy. Struble, Hudson, Matheson, Dobson, Gouli, Carrier, right? Those have been the 6 guys in this 4-game road trip, 4-game winning streak, going for 5 in a row tonight. Who's the ideal partner? Like, what's that look like where Arbor Jackeye has the best chance at playing and being the best version of himself when he's on the ice? Who is that player that he's paired with?
I feel like the best player to pair with any left shot defenseman on the Canadiens is Noah Dobson. And you think about it, Noah Dobson is a zone exit machine. He's got a great shot. He's no nonsense kind of player when it comes to just trying to get the puck up the ice. But it's playing the physical game and the play down low where fans would like to be a little bit more assertive in his case, or like to see him be a little bit more assertive.
Yeah.
Well, playing him with Arbor Jackeye could work. But why would that ever happen, considering the importance of Noah Dobson versus the role of some? And so this is why I say when it comes to a guy like Arbor Jackeye, I feel like the problematic is not the fact that it's Arbor Jackeye. It's the lack of balance between left shot and right shot defensemen.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's, having a guy like David Reinbacher eventually come into the lineup, seeing what they have in Engstrom, who's been playing on the right side the last 2 games. Eventually, you're going to have to see what you have in them to rebalance that defensive core. And maybe that's where it becomes a little easier to put in some guys on the left side that are a little less active.
Marco just gets pummeled with visitors. So many people want to come shake his hand. They want to touch a hashtag not a hockey, not an insider.
Is Alan Walsh here?
Did you invite? I didn't invite him. I will the next time if you want. We can have a sit down. We can have.
I'm okay.
We can have.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Hashtag people person. Marco D'Amico, Shaun Starr with you live in McLean's 1210 Peel Street ahead of the Canadiens and Hurricanes matchup at 5:00 tonight. Game number 2 of a 5-game road trip. And then they got some decent opposition. We'll see if the Canadiens can continue to see if the Canadiens can continue this momentum against some weaker teams on the horizon. So stockpile those points against teams like you did against Nashville, teams like Carolina tonight, and moving forward to the home and home with the Devils and the Rangers in there. But first, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning to deal with. The Tampa Bay Lightning, by the way, if we look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Lightning, there's 3 big 5:00 games on this Sunday late afternoon. The Lightning are home to the Predators. The Canadiens are at the Hurricanes, obviously, and the Boston Bruins and the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight at 5.
Sorry, I just saw a mean-looking poutine.
That is an authoritative poutine.
Louise, I want some poutine.
That is an authoritative.
Okay,
you already
cool.
had French fries. Must be nice to have such a great metabolism, huh? Just everything in, goes so fast. Everything's good. Hey, you can eat what you want, when you want.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
chicken
not the case.
tendies and fries. Tempting
There's a
him.
lot
I
of
love
work
it.
that goes into this.
Is there?
Yep.
How many hours at the gym?
Well, I have a gym at home.
Listen. Excuse me, Jeff Bezos.
What? No, man. Just have a good gym at home. Stay in shape. Splurge sometimes. I mean, how many times are you at McLean's? Maybe once a month?
Maybe once a month, contractually. Contractual.
But that being said,
yeah.
This is why I work standing up.
That's true. Yeah, Marco
This
does
is like
one of those working.
the only show where I'm sitting down.
Yeah. It's rare. You must feel that. Do you feel okay?
Yeah, well, I like this
kidding.
comment because
You're telling me, Morgan.
I'm literally turning 36. So
36, just a baby.
Well, no, the baby's at home.
No, you're just a baby. I'm 36. That's nice. If you remember at a golf club, you'd still be in an intermediary category.
Wait, will come. Ye of so little faith. Watch me.
Yeah. But you're moving around, you're rocking the baby, you're doing stuff.
My God, guys.
And then what?
Rocking the kid? I think I walked something silly like, I don't know, 14 kilometers in 2 days, just walking the kid in the house.
Hey, why don't you answer Dan's question? How are those chicken tenders? That's what Marco had for late lunch, early dinner, I guess.
Children listen to this, so I'm not going to tell you exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
But it was effing great, and I feel effing absolutely absolute.
And you went with the hot. Would you go with the? Because they give you a bunch of options, for the chicken tender sauce here at McLean's.
Yeah. They have 911 sauce. They have ghost pepper sauce. I wanted to do the ghost pepper sauce, but then I didn't talking like that. And nobody needs that.
Did your wife handle the spice?
Hell no.
Hell no. Huh? So you're the man with the spice.
No, man. The first time I made a pasta sauce for my wife, I almost killed her.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, because I make the traditional arrabbiata.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, she'd be hot. The sauce.
I'll let you continue if you want to continue.
Nope.
Still waiting for official confirmation on the Canadiens lineup. It's okay. It's only 4:40. No big deal. Puck drops in 25 minutes. It's all good.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're already influencing the youth. You see the power of the Starr and D'Amico show on YouTube.com. Influencing the youth, the 6-year-olds. Daddy, mommy. I want the chicken tendies for dinner. Can't go wrong with chicken tenders, my friend.
Listen, I make mean chicken tenders at home.
Yeah.
So I do suggest.
Are you an air fryer guy?
In the winter.
Yeah.
In the summer, I get outside and I use my smoker or I use my barbecue.
Well,
I'm not one of those guys.
I was gonna say.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know we're probably gonna.
By the way,
we're getting in shit because we're really off topic. But
Speaking of cooking,
I don't care. If anybody wants to sponsor the show, that's a barbecue company. Hit us up. I'm looking for a new BBQ for the deck for the summer months. So willing to do a trade deal on Starr and D'Amico. Marco gets a barbecue, I get a barbecue, and everybody's happy.
I have a barbecue.
Yeah, I'll get you another one. Why not? Why you don't put the kibosh on the deal?
I'm sorry.
Habs and Hurricanes at 5:00 today. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Jake Evans line. It's going to be a tough task, you think, without Josh Anderson. I mean, Joe Veleno in the minutes that he does get, Marco. I mean, walk me through the depth, the bottom six here, and how they've looked to you during this 4-game winning streak.
I think what I've really liked from them is the efficacy on their forecheck.
Yeah.
Really, that's where the offense is being driven, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think positionally they're sound. They're playing an aggressive game. The wingers are finishing their checks. I feel like Jake Evans is finding soft ice, and he knows where to be on the ice. And I think that's the biggest. For me, when you are a checking center and you're able to be properly positioned, offensive zone, neutral zone, defensive zone in transition, that to me is what makes a good checking center. And then you bring in the details, his PK ability, the fact that he has some really good playmaking ability as well. The only thing that Jake Evans doesn't have, and you wouldn't know because he has 11 goals, is just that pure finishing ability. And that's what I like, where you can put anybody you want on that line at wing, right? Zachary Bolduc has a good shot, just has to get it off more often. And then when Texier is healthy, I feel like they really mesh well together as well. So the Canadiens will continue to kind of play with their bottom six, but it's been very evident that the moment that line started getting going, they started cycling all four lines on a regular basis on that forecheck.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that's been constant too in my mind. You talk about the forecheck. It's, people that watch and listen to the show on the regular, I'm a big Marty guy. I'm a big Martin St. Louis fan. I enjoy his approach to the game in all facets, right? And one of the other things is, and Marco's a new parent, right? So I guess as his son grows, the ability to communicate and have them take in what you're saying and hopefully apply it. I see that with Martin St. Louis. What he asks his team to do, be accountable, play harder, get into the tougher areas. And lo and behold, I find they do that. And one of the common things, Marco, that's kind of developed in a really good way over the course of the last week and a half or so has been sustained pressure in the offensive zone. And to your point about the forecheck, having guys like Phil Deneau be a puck possession line, Jake Evans be a puck possession line. Again, there's no worry about the number one line. It's taking what the coach is saying and applying it, and just so good for overall growth. And you get the sense that they've morphed into kind of if we talk about exhibition and preseason, Is this their playoff preseason? Do you feel that they're preparing themselves with how they've been playing lately to get ready for the playoffs? Is this a playoff preseason?
Yeah, I mean, Martin St. Louis in playoff mode. Why can't this team be?
Yeah, he's definitely in playoff mode.
But yeah, I think that's exactly what you need at this point, right? You need to lock in.
Yeah.
And prior to this week, you can make the argument that they hadn't locked in at all. And now you're seeing them play with a little bit more assertiveness, and you're seeing them be a little bit more aggressive. And that's exactly what you want in this kind of a setting. You know, to me, you look at Demidov, it's a very clear example of that. You look at the way Caden Gooley's playing, very clear example of that. Caden Gooley's been a monster for the last 10 days.
Like, what's happened? Is it just he's back on his, like, what happened? Like, where did it go from a guy that was written about in The Athletic about, I feel lost, like I was watching tape of my rookie season to get back to the player that I was? Like, was it that? Was it he needed his memory jogged, or he's on his strong side? I mean, it's unbelievable, Marco. The guy's done a 180.
The king has returned. For those that don't get that reference, that's the Lion King. But Caden Gooley, I know it's too old for you, buddy.
I mean, I have seen it.
Caden Gooley, to me, has found his game.
Yeah.
Found what made him so effective right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was the smash mouth, physical, rush defensive style that made him a first-round pick and had people turning their heads when he was the first overall pick of the WHL draft in like 2018.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 2017. But like, he was always so effective. He just lost that, you know, that intensity after those injuries. And I feel like now he's finally getting back to it. And that's going to be the, you know, that's going to be the big thing for the Canadiens, because he plays such a unique style for them. He brings that physicality, but he's also able to bring that mobility, and he's got an active stick. He's one of the rare defensemen that could break out the puck himself, and he's got a pretty decent clapper. So you've got the tools, and it was about showing them that he had the toolbox and that he just needed to execute. And now we see that he can.
He's been so, and I mean, what about Carrier? Have you seen a difference in Alexander Carrier's game since he's, you know, starts some games, doesn't play every shift, but, you know, you see Gooley sometimes playing 20, 21 minutes, you know, as we spoke about on a live show this week, right? I mean, he's basically listed as a third pair defenseman, but, you know, playing, you know, top 4 minutes. How's Alex Carrier's game, in your mind, been impacted by Gooley's regained confidence?
Yeah, it's a little bit off and on. I think they play well together, but I feel like Alex Carrier gets beat one-on-one a lot.
Yeah.
It's just my 2 cents. But, you know, they've been much better of late.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I think that's the biggest thing. You know, is seeing that improvement. And, you know, Carrier being played with Matheson, you know, with Gooley, sometimes with Hudson. So they're all playing together. I think, you know, they're playing better. But, man, you got to love it. You got to love live NHL news, Shaun.
Dude, I was about to bring it to the table here. The third place Vegas Golden Knights in the Pillow Fight Pacific Division, with a year left in his contract, Marco, and 8 games left in the regular season. They fired Bruce Cassidy, John Tortorella, back behind the bench with the Vegas Golden Knights. What the hell is going on here? That's a pretty dysfunctional move.
Panic move, baby.
No kidding, brother.
And, like, with no disrespect to John Tortorella, that's hilarious.
Bro, that is crazy.
The
Mitch
NHL,
Marner, John Tortorella,
and them just recycling the same names over and over and over again.
Preach.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch Tortorella with Eichel and Marner. I can't. It's going to be so funny.
I can't believe it. I can't believe there's 8 games left in the season. They're
My
third place.
biggest regret is that Montreal doesn't play against Vegas.
Holy cow, man.
Louise, Tortorella is the head coach of Vegas now. Same, see? She said she said F off.
Yeah, well,
Not
she's
a
in a
good
pub. She's allowed. She's a classy person, you know? When in Rome, Marco, as they say. When in Rome, brother.
You would know about that.
I would. I'm dying to go back. I hope to go
John
back.
Tortorella as head coach is a choice.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Like, I'm shocked.
It is shocking. He's got a year left on his deal. He's got 8 games left in the regular season, and it's not like they're last place in the division, last place in the conference. They're a playoff team, and they're bringing in Tortorella. Okay, it's your team, man. You do what you want.
Who was the head coach?
You do what you want.
Who was the head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights when they won the cup like 3 years ago?
It wasn't Bilesma?
No. What? No.
No, the guy from who was it?
It was Bruce Cassidy.
Right.
And fired, even though his team is in a playoff situation.
That is
fired.
Wild.
That's nuts to me. Nuts. But Kelly McCrimmon, George McPhee, no nonsense kind of people.
I guess, and I wonder
those guys just don't care. It's win or get out.
Like, do you speak to your players about that? Do the players go to you? I mean, this late into the season with so much on the line and thinking this is the move you need to make in order to what? I guess obviously level up and have a different voice in that room come playoff time. It's okay. We're only in April this week. So good luck. Good luck on the Vegas Golden Knights in that pillow fight of a division in the Pacific.
That's nuts.
Yeah. They lost 3.
Goodness.
They've lost 3 in a row. They have 3 wins in their last 10 games. There's a nice bounce back. Good on you, Torch. You play the Vancouver Canucks. Your first game is head coach tomorrow. 10 o'clock Eastern game against the lowly in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. Vancouver Canucks, cellar-dwelling Canucks.
That is
the organization that
incredible.
bans media members because they write mean things about them. Gavin McKenna is still going to go number 1 overall, you think?
Too soon.
Too soon, huh?
Too soon. Because right now I really do feel like it's McKenna, Stenberg, Chase Reed, Keaton Vierhoff. Like, those are the guys that you're kind of playing with.
Yeah.
I think McKenna ends up winning out, especially if Vancouver picks first overall.
Yeah.
Because when do you get to pick a good Western boy when you're Vancouver?
Exactly.
They've only really done it once, right?
Yep.
Jake Virtanen, and they had better players available, but they went for the guy that was from home.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they do that again. But also, flip side, Ivor Stenberg, very good Swedish player. Patrick Alvin, GM of that team, loves drafting Swedes. So could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think, the expectation is we're going to be seeing McKenna at the World Championships.
Is that the next step for him? Yeah.
Because to not play hockey in April and in May, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's brought on. We've seen this in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
First overall picks go over. Like, I think Celebrini went over.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bedard went over. So, it's not outlandish. Slavkovsky went over in his draft year as well. So it's not outlandish. I think it could happen. But yeah, Arbor Jack Guy officially in.
Yep.
11-7.
There you go.
I cannot wait to see what the lines look like on a regular basis. That's going to be so much fun.
No kidding.
So much fun.
Well, that's what happens. They got a depth of NHL players that have just been sitting and waiting, ready for their opportunity to jump in. And that's why this opportunity has been created in the aftermath of Josh Anderson getting sick. Started the game against Nashville on Saturday night, but didn't finish it. And out with an illness is what the organization said in the aftermath of that. And so basically the fact that they're on the road and they're on the road for tonight and then 3 more games after this game in Carolina, going to Tampa Bay, Florida coming up to start a new week on Tuesday. And the New York Rangers and then a home and home. The Canadiens are back on home ice a week from today when they host the New Jersey Devils. So it'll be good to see. And the Canadiens have had good success, haven't they, Marco, against the Metropolitan Division? Something like 7-3 or something like that against the Metro Division. And, got by Columbus, going for the season sweep against the Carolina Hurricanes. Can they get the jump, though, on Carolina? Can they put it? Is Carolina susceptible to being put on their heels, on their back foot?
Susceptible, yeah. Carolina is the kind of team where if you play them hard on the forecheck and you're physical, we've seen them crumble in the past when they had a deeper defensive unit.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, not the same kind of unit they've had in the past. I think it shows. I'm working, Louise. I hate you. I was offered Poutine, but I can't because we're talking to you guys.
That's right.
I just feel like
kind of
Carolina
surprising
just
that you
doesn't have.
Didn't notice that.
They don't have the defensive team to be able to withstand that kind of a forecheck.
Yeah.
So if the Canadiens are going to be able to beat Carolina, they're going to have to play physical. They're going to have to play strong, and they're absolutely going to have to take advantage of their chances in the slot, because that's a team where I feel like you could take advantage of the overall lack of defensive zone situation.
Canadiens are going to win this game, by the way. They're going to win 3-2 tonight.
Oh, well, I mean, okay.
I find this a little harsh. I don't agree with it at all. Morgan points out, honestly, fellas, do we even notice Josh Anderson even when he is in the lineup?
I notice him defensively.
I noticed the puck rushes. I noticed the speed. I noticed the aggression.
But that's the thing with Josh Anderson.
Yeah.
The physical tools are ridiculous.
The speed is off the charts, man. Yeah.
It's what he does after that.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone asks about.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, he's really good with the puck rushes, but then the puck is immediately turned over. They go back the other way.
No.
When he's on the penalty kill,
there you go.
He's really good because he's so aggressive.
Yes.
So that I give it to him.
Yeah.
But at 5-on-5, unless he's the trigger man on a setup, very difficult for Josh Anderson to get anything going.
Because, again, like we talk about the assets of his game, right? And there's obviously the negative, the other side of that coin. But damn, man, when he has all the makings, right, of everybody's dream kind of player, the size, the fearlessness, the speed, but it's undeniable. I don't disagree. The hands of stone are very much a part of Josh Anderson's game with the Montreal Canadiens, but say la vie. So Arbor Jackey's in.
Yep, Arbor Jackey's in. And again, it's going to be interesting because it's going to give Martin St. Louis more flexibility about what lines he puts out.
Yeah.
You're not having to worry about cycling.
Yeah.
Plus, you're on the road. So think about this. You don't have the last change. You can mix and match your lines. I expect the 4 centers in tonight's game to play a boatload plus Nick Suzuki and Slavkovsky. I know, hot take. But I think that's going to give the Canadiens a whole lot of flexibility, and we'll see where they can go with it. But I think this is going to bode really well for them in terms of putting Martin St. Louis in a situation where for them to win this game, he's going to have to outcoach Rob Brind'Amour.
With that nice silver streak. That's a very deliberate hairstyle choice by the coach of the Carolina Hurricanes.
I can't really comment on hair.
You miss your hair?
Not really.
No. I mean,
but I just can't comment on it.
Yeah, you still have to wash your scalp, right? I mean, but is it shampoo or is it soap and hot water? Is it like regular hand soap or body wash soap?
And we just lost 100 viewers right there.
Look, we actually gained. You see? Everyone there's somebody out there for everybody. Okay, let's break it down. 2.5 minutes left. The Montreal Canadiens win tonight in Carolina. Why, Marco?
Relentless forecheck.
Mm-hmm.
They're just impossible when they're on their game. The way the speed in which they play, how aggressive they are in the rush, they're fantastic in that regard. If they're able to play to their speed and play their style, this is going to be a hard-fought game. And I don't know if it's going to be a tight game, but I expect it to be a hard-fought game.
I think the Canadiens win tonight because the second line has another strong performance. Ivan Demidov had a multi-point game when the Canadiens knocked off Carolina after their sleepiest start, arguably, of the season, and came back and scored, 5 unanswered on the Hurricanes in that 5-2 win. And knowing, like everybody else, like lots of comments, right, about the Canadiens and getting tougher, and certain players in particular, Lane Hudson, Ivan Demidov, getting targeted. Get ready for more of that. More team toughness by the Montreal Canadiens back on display tonight, because at this point of the season, lots to play for Carolina, lots more to play for the Montreal Canadiens. And with the coverage and the attention to detail paid to the Canadiens' top line, Oliver Kapanen, Ivan Demidov, the speed of Alex Newhook has to have another kind of step-up performance. So give me the second line and the depth of the Montreal Canadiens emerging to give them a 3-2 win over the Carolina Hurricanes, and another pretty good confidence-inspiring performance from Jakub Dobeš, who is in for Jacob Fowler. Funny to say that, even though Dobeš is the number one. And Arbor Jackey. Congratulations, Jackey Nation. Your boy is back in the lineup tonight. Should be a good one. Enjoy the game, Marco.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Enjoy the game, everybody. And we're going to be here with all the fans that came and showed up and watched the game with them. And I think it's going to be a fun time. I love Sunday games that don't start late.
No, 5 o'clock.
It's a great time.
And this is the last one. The next 2 Sunday games are both at 7 o'clock, right? So Enjoy the late afternoon, early evening Montreal Canadiens. Thanks for being with us. Marco and I will be back in our normal home studios tomorrow, Monday at noon time to recap the Montreal Canadiens' drive for 5 wins in a row. Enjoy the game, everybody. And don't forget, the place to be before and after every Montreal Canadiens game is the Great McLean's Pub. It's the real deal on Peel, 1210 Peel Street in the heart of downtown Montreal. All the games, all the action, and the outstanding service and a great menu selection too. So enjoy it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Marco.
Have a great one, everybody. Thank you so much.